Hey there, everyone. My name is Ryan Schul. Welcome to my data science channel. So in the project today, I want to look at how to create a recipe or a recommendation for recipes based on ingredients that you enter into a series of prompts. Okay, so I put together a couple of scripts. When I run it, the Python notebook here is going to generate some prompts. The user prompt is going to incentivize or somehow motivate us to input certain information. These are going to be ingredients for a recipe, and based on the ingredients, we're going to use some AI techniques to go ahead and create a recipe based on the inputs that we collect from the user. Okay, so there's a couple things we're going to do. We'll create a very simple interface where I input a couple of basic ingredients. It's going to spit back some recipes, and then I'm going to use ChatGPT and get ChatGPT to recommend a recipe for myself based on the inputs that I feed into it. Okay, so why would we even want to use this technique, right? It has a few different applications. We can use computer vision to analyze an image, and the recommendation engine here can run and make recommendations for recipes that can be made with the ingredients that are in that image. Okay, and based on the ingredients that I input into this recommendation engine, it's going to spit back different recipes for me to play around with, right? So I think this is very cool, very novel approach to using AI to create recipes. Okay, so I came up with this idea yesterday. I put together the script. So let's take it for a test drive and see what we can do here. So first of all, I'm gonna comment this out. These are actually my notes right here. So this is very frictionless user experience. It's very not inspirational. It's very engaging, back and forth, very dynamic. It reduced food waste, right? If you have some food sitting around in your refrigerator, you can use this type of technique to go ahead and understand which ingredients can be mixed together to create a variety of different recipes. We can use intuition and smart kitchen integration, almost like what is it called? Internet of Things, IoT, like where you have your food sitting in the refrigerator, and the fridge, not in this example, but in some hypothetical example, can scan the ingredients in your fridge and recommend recipes. That's what we're going to do in just a minute here. So this Python example is not inside the refrigerator, right? It's sitting on my notebook. But you can imagine if you take this, export it as an app, and then somehow upload it to the IoT in your fridge, this can be run programmatically in the fridge, potentially, okay? I don't know about Internet of Things, really how that would work, but I could certainly create an app to run outside of Python. We're just going to run this in the Jupyter Notebook for today. But also consider the accessibility and inclusivity of this kind of approach. Again, it reduces food waste, makes your life more efficient. You can come up with all kinds of creative ideas for recipes, and this recommendation engine will produce the results for you. So I have a few recipes here. We have a field named name. This is a list of recipes, so we have a name. We actually have a dictionary and a list. So the list is represented by these square brackets. The dictionary is represented by this key, and this is the value pair. Okay, so anytime you see a colon here, you have the key on the left side and the value pair on the right. So we have name, spaghetti, angelino, olio, and the ingredients are going to be pasta, garlic, olive oil, red peppers, flakes, and parsley. That's the first example here. And the last one, and you have some things in between here. Last one is name, sausage, pasta. The ingredients consist of pasta, sausage, garlic, cream, and Parmesan. So let me go ahead and run this. And the input box is going to ask me for a few inputs, right? So basically, we're just running a simple loop here. While true, ingredients strip lower. We're stripping out any kind of extra spaces or whatever, just trying to structure the data and get it in a nice orderly fashion so we can work with. If I input done, that represents the end of the ingredient list. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on entering ingredients, and this AI tool is going to spit out a recommendation for several different recipes that I can create from these ingredients. So I'm going to put in salt. So, whoops, I have to click in the box to activate it. Salt, or what is it called? Focus. You have to give it focus. Pepper, olive oil, pasta. I want to create pasta. Dish, chili, and I will say sausage. Okay, enter and then done. When I'm done, I'll hit done. So it knows this is the end of the list, and it's going to go ahead and take all of this information, massage it together, look at what we have for all the ingredients and the whole universe of recipes that we have here in the list, in this dictionary of key value pairs. and it's working right now. It's going to spit out a final recommendation here. You entered salt, pepper, olive oil, pasta, chili, and sausage. So there's the confirmation, right? It follows this list I have right here, or this list of items I have right here, ingredients. So let me run the final piece here, Control Enter, and we're going to get the recipes. So we're going to use this model right here. This is called All Mini L6 V2. We're going through all the ingredients in recipes. This is recipes, this is the list, and these are the ingredients, right? So ingredients is this key value pair. Ingredients, pasta, olive oil, red pepper flakes, and parsley. Okay, so we're going to loop through all of those ingredients. We're going to call this model to do the work for us. The model goes down here and encodes all the corpus text and converts to tensor. So a tensor is a representation of text in a numerical format, or a numerical representation of text, rather. So we take all this text, convert it to numbers, because the computer understands numbers, doesn't know what pasta, chili, sausage, olive oil, salt, and pepper is, but it can convert each of these ingredient types to a number representation of that text, and then it can feed that into the model, and the model can spit back the results to us. For I and top indices comes from the scores descending equals true. So ascending is ascending, descending equals true. So in descending order, we're going to get the top 12. We're taking everything from the beginning to the end of the 12. We have 1 in top indices. This is a loop. Recipe equals recipes, and print recipe name and all the ingredients. And here's the final output, suggested recipes for you. Based on these inputs right here, salt, pepper, olive oil, pasta, chili, and sausage, we have these potential recipes that we can create. So sausage pasta, that's the recommended recipe. These are the ingredients, okay? That's what I put in. I don't think I put in cream or Parmesan, but it's recommending some additional ingredients for me to use, and try adding garlic and pasta, okay? Pasta for the pasta, that makes sense. Spaghetti aglio olio. Okay, I don't know Italian that well, but it sounds like an Italian recipe, and we have some of the ingredients that we input from the prior step. Parsley, I don't think parsley was one of them. Okay, it was not. But it's interesting how it comes up with this this extra ingredient here that is going to enhance the recipe in some way that's desirable to us. Tomato soup uses tomatoes, garlic, vegetable broth, and salt. Again, kind of follows the original ingredients that I put in, but goes and deviates a little bit and has a different recommendation for something that's kind of similar to what was represented initially, but very creative too. It goes outside of the breadth of the original the original parameters or the original guidelines that we set up, which was these ingredients, right? But it's very intelligent and comes up with a whole new set of types of recipes that we can create that are substantially similar to the original list of ingredients, but somewhat different too. So we have garlic, tomato, pasta, omelet, uses eggs, garlic, tomato, and cheese. We would have to add in eggs. We don't have eggs in the original list, and I think that was it. Oh, cheese. I don't think I put cheese in that list. But again, like if you have these ingredients in your fridge, you can make this recipe right here. So an omelet, bruschetta, uses bread, tomatoes, garlic, basil, olive oil, right? So most of those were the original ingredients, garlic bread. So that is in keeping with our pasta, right? Our, what was it? Sausage pasta, I think. Chili, to make chili, we need tomatoes, ground beef, beans, garlic, and onions. So that is in keeping with the original recipe. Saute garlic shrimp. So shrimp definitely wasn't in the original ingredient list, but it comes up with this recipe all by itself, right? Using this model, again, it goes outside of the explicit instructions I gave it and recommends this. And where do you find these things, right? If you have a question about this, comes from Hugging Face models. If I go over here, Hugging Face models, and go over here to models, you can see a whole bunch of models that are available for us to interact with. So now there's 1,833,120 models. Guys, that's a lot of models. Whoops, clicked on this thing accidentally. 1.8 million models, right? 1.8 and change. You have a lot of models here to interact with, right? If I go over here and put this in, whoops, why did I copy that? I want to copy this. I want to copy this and see how this plays into it. If I go over here, model. So these are models. SentenceTransformer, optimal mini LM, and has 496 models that I recommend, all somewhat similar to this model that we're using to create recipes, right, based from the original ingredients that I input. So you can take any of these models and test a few of them, test a dozen or test a couple dozen. It goes up to 17 pages. All you would have to do is copy and paste this model right here and go over here. So all mini max copy paste and put that over here to replace that original model. And you can test all kinds of different models. So, oops, sorry. Let me go back here. I think we got the leading space, and it kind of like cut over to the next line. Anyways, so here's another model. We can test this model and see how that performs. So I think this is pretty cool. You have all your 1.8 million Hugging Face models over here. But again, you're not going to test 1.8 million. All these models do completely different things, right? You'd want more of a sentence completer, some kind of recipe builder. And if you don't know what the model is, just go over here. So recipe builder. There's just one specific recipe builder. But if you go over here, you have 707 that you can test Chinese recipes, cocktail recipes, right, for drinks and all kinds of different things. So the sky's the limit here. You pick the model that you want and you go with that. I'm going to go back to the original. That one was performing pretty well for me. That was the original model. But that's it. That's how you use Hugging Face. Probably all of these are free. I don't know if they're all free, but you can certainly find some free models over here that you can test and interact with. Now let's try a slightly different approach. Again, we're going to enter ingredients into a list, but we're going to use ChatGPT to generate the recipes for us. So initially, remember, I kind of gave it some guidance right here. I said, these are my recipes. I want the recipe to be basically spaghetti, garlic tomato pasta, tomato soup, chili, omelets, sauteed garlic shrimp, bruschetta, and sausage pasta, right? But I had to sort of stimulate the model or give it some guidelines or give it some guardrails to have parameters to operate within. Let's say we don't even want to do that. If we're really lazy, and honestly, I'm kind of a lazy person, so I don't want to type in all that stuff. I'm going to use ChatGPT, and my ChatGPT API key, which you can get over here, www.chatgpt API. If you go over here, you can sign up for this. Very easy. Start building, log in. This is my login over here. Okay, and let me see what it comes up with. I think it's already logged in because I was using this browser before. Let me see if it picks up. Yes. So go over here. Under one of these, you should find, what is it, settings or something else? Data control? I don't think that's it, actually. I think it's going to be something else. Let me see here. Account keys. Oh, this is it. I think account API keys. Okay, I have to log in, put in my email address. Okay, it should have the saved password. Okay, we're good. Let's make a login. Okay, let me go over here for a sec. Give me a second here. Usually it just does it all by itself. Today it's doing something a little bit different. That's fine. We get the key 114305. So I go back here. So it might be an extra step if you're not already logged in. Thought I was, but apparently I wasn't. So just wants to confirm who I am. And then you have all your API keys over here. Okay. So again, just go Google it, ChatGPT API keys, create a new secret key on the upper right-hand corner over here. It's free to create the key. Now, for some of these models, they're totally free. You don't have to pay a penny for it. For some of these, you have to pay $20 a month. There's a subscription fee of $20 a month. You get what you pay for, right? You get more bang for the buck if you pay $20 a month. If you don't, you get a very basic interface and very basic interaction with ChatGPT, which in many cases is sufficient. If you really want to level up and get more service, pay $20 a month. I guarantee it's worth every penny. What you get out of it is definitely what you put into it, okay? So you have to get your own ChatGPT key. Everything else is going to stay the same. I'm going to share all this code with you. So you have all this. You can copy and paste it from the code sample I'm going to share with you. Put this into a Jupyter notebook and run it. It's going to run as is. You do have to sign up for your own ChatGPT key. It's pretty long. It's pretty extensive. It's going to be probably 50 something characters. It's pretty big. It goes out to the end of the page here. Like if I paste in my whole key, some of the characters actually get cut off at the end. It's pretty big, but that's fine. You just copy paste it, put it in. Then you enter your list of ingredients. The ingredients is going to go into this list box right here, or into this list represented by these square brackets. And I'm not going to run it because I cannot share the key with you guys, right? This is personal and confidential. You paste in your own key. I guarantee it's going to work. You go over here, get your key. This is it. Copy right here. Is this it? Copy, edit secret key. Anyways, when you first create your key, it's going to give you a chance to copy it, copy paste it, put it in here, and it will work. I guarantee it. Then it's going to prompt you for inputs. So you input all of your ingredients. I already did this. Again, I can't run the code in real time because it needs my API key and I can't share that here. It's personal and confidential. But I put in earlier today salt, pepper, vinegar, mozzarella cheese, pasta sausage, red sauce, onions. Then I hit done, just like you saw in the first example, without putting in some kind of guidance like this is my list of recipes, right? Initially, this is a very primitive way of interacting with this AI tool, right? I tell it or simulate it with some representation of recipes, something that I want to use as a baseline for recipes. In this case, all I need is a ChatGPT key. I input my ingredients, right? When I'm done, I hit done. Then the API, the API tool and the ChatGPT LLM knows, okay, this is the end of the recipe. I'm sorry, this is the end of the ingredients. Let me create some recipes for you. So this is what it comes up with all by itself without giving it the guideline or the context of what I want to do. It comes up with baked pasta, stuffed onions, sausage skillet, stuffed sausage pasta, mozzarella pasta salad, baked sausage rolls, sausage and mozzarella pizza, vinegar sausage stir fry, spicy sausage and cheese pasta, sausage and onion omelet, mozzarella and sausage stuffed peppers, and sausage and mozzarella risotto. Okay, and I put in the top 12. I said, give me the top 12 ingredients. Okay, and it knows just to give the top 12, and it's going to stop the list right there. Okay, so once I get the top 12, I have everything I need, right? All I did was put in the ChatGPT API key. I have these ingredients over here, and it knows to spit out 12 different recipes because I gave it some guidance over here too. I said, go to, where is it? I don't see the 12. Oh, here it is. Here, top indices. Okay, so I'm taking everything from the top 12 items that it's producing, right? It can produce lots of recipes. It can produce 50, 60, 100 recipes. I think 12 is sufficient. You should find something among these 12 or so recipes that spits out. You should find something that meets your satisfaction, right? So now I have, I'm going to feed in an image and I'm going to tell ChatGPT, I'm sorry, this is not ChatGPT. This is another Hugging Face model that comes from OpenClip, VIT, Base, Patch 2, and Patch 32. So if I go over here and look at my Hugging Face models, it should be able to pull these up. Let me see. Search all the models, Control Enter, and there's the model right there. Again, if you wanted to look at different images, this is an image on my desktop of cooking dish. Okay, so I have cooking dish. Let's take a look and see what this thing is. I'll share this picture with you guys too. So that looks like pasta to me, but I don't want to give it any information, say pasta.jpg. I don't want to say pasta. I want to say cooking dish, right? Whoops. Oh, come on. Paste. I didn't even spell it right. Okay. Cooking dish. So I want to say cooking dish because I don't want to give it any kind of indication of maybe this might be pasta, maybe this might be some kind of pizza or something. I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to say cooking dish, and I want the model to go ahead and to interpret that image and tell me what's in that image, right? So I'm going to tell it, what is this image right here? Based on this image recognition model tool over here, it's going to tell me what the image is and the probability of each image, the probability of each classification of that image. So it came up with pasta, 98.61% confidence. Curry, this could be curry or this could be soup. These are pretty low confidences. It's 98.6% confident that that item is pasta. And if you look at it, indeed, it is pasta, right? And there's no indication based on the name. It doesn't say pasta over here. It just says cooking dish. But you look at that, you tell me that's not pasta. I'm not going to believe it, right? You tell me it's pasta, I'll believe it. So now I have another set of ingredients here with some labels for all these ingredients. We have beef stock, red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, onions, cream cheese, butter, thyme, and rigatoni pasta. And I'm calling this recipe ingredients. So let me go back here and feed that into ChatGPT. So I'm going to get recipe ingredients. This is the image on my desktop. Again, I need ChatGPT. I can't share my API key with you guys. Personal confidential, I just can't do it. I'm sure you can appreciate that and you understand why. But in this case, we're going to use the model GPT-4. This is very cheap to use. There's a 4 plus, there's a 3.5, I think, and a ChatGPT-4. And if you look at the cost, the 4 is pretty cheap. The 4 plus is here. I think they have it over here. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. So GPT-5, $3 per million input tokens, 4.22, $2.50 per million tokens, with 10 million per output token, and then GPT 4.0 mini. So this is the most powerful model available right now. 0.15 cents per million per token, 0.6 million per output, right? So I'm using this model, GPT 4.0. There's a 4.0 mini, which is more powerful. It's going to give you better results. You pay a little bit more, but you get more too. This model is the cheapest. I've used all three of these. This one is the most cost effective. This is the most expensive one. And you know what you pay for all these things. You pay more, you get more, you pay less over here, and you get less. The results are not going to be super accurate, not going to be satisfactory in some cases. Over here, I think you're going to get blown away. But again, this model is more expensive. So you really have to decide what what's going to take to achieve the kind of satisfaction that you need. And then you pick that model right there. So GPT-4, that's what I'm using. That is a nice balance between cost and results that the model is capable of outputting. If you use the GPT-4 mini, you get probably, definitely better accurate results, but you pay more too. So again, I'm going to share all the code with you. All you have to do is pop in your GPT API key. And again, it is going to spit out the recipes for you. So you have the classic spaghetti bolognese, again, just based on the recipe ingredients. So I'm not doing anything other than uploading an image. ChatGPT analyzes the image and deconstructs it, takes it apart, and understands all the ingredients in that image, right? And then it'll deconstruct this image and it looks at the cheese, at the pasta, the heavy cream, onion, salt, pepper, red wine, so on and so forth. And then it constructs a bunch of recipes based on the image. I don't even have to put in the list of ingredients. It will look at the image, interpret what ingredients are in that image, and then it produces 10 recipes for me. So classic spaghetti bolognese, these are the ingredients. Garlic shrimp pasta, these are the ingredients. Shrimp carbonara, ingredients. Alfredo fettuccine, ingredients. Penne olive vodka, and ingredients. Sound like a broken record now. I'll just finish it off here, halfway done. Pasta primavera, all the ingredients. Pesto pasta spaghetti, ingredients. Spaghetti, ingredients. Chicken, Spanish Alfredo, ingredients. Mushroom, sausage, rigatoni, and all the ingredients. I didn't even have to put in the ingredients. All it did was interpret all the ingredients from this image. So you can imagine the application for this type of thing. Take an image of ingredients with your cell phone, right, on the counter of your kitchen, maybe the ingredients of different things sitting in your refrigerator. Take a picture with your cell phone, use this pie model that I created. You can save this as a .py executable, even run that as an app on your phone, take a picture, and the phone will spit out all of these different recipes and all the ingredients for each. And we can probably even take it up another level and say, okay, cook the pasta for 7 to 8 minutes until it's soft. Then strain, then add in the garlic, simmer that, reduce that. All right. Once you get your reduction sauce, add in the canned tomatoes, add in a splash of red wine, add in olive oil, right? So you can get even more description, so on and so forth. You can imagine the sky's the limit here with this type of thing, right? So I just wanted to showcase that to you guys. I discovered this yesterday. I thought this was pretty cool, pretty intuitive way to use some leftovers and some basic ingredients that you have sitting around in your kitchen and create a bunch of recipes using ChatGPT. Or if you don't even want to sign up for it, there's a cheaper version over here, free version you can use right here from Hugging Face, right? So ChatGPT, you have to pay for it, $20 a month. You can get the free version, or which is satisfactory in many cases, or you can get this model right here, which is free. and do essentially the same thing. Or you can test all of these exactly like I did and see which one performs the best for you and then implement that. So what's the takeaway here? Application area, uh, smart fridge, Internet of Things, kitchen devices, detect ingredients in real-time fashion, grocery store, meal kits, lets users add items to their recipes, health and nutrition apps, suggest healthy meals based on different ingredients you have sitting around your kitchen, education and cooking assistance, teach kids or beginners how to cook, food delivery, integration, if you're missing an ingredient, what can you substitute for this ingredient? Now, I won't go into like a lot of details. I had a relative a while back, love to cook, but very innovative. But you have to limit yourself too. You can't just substitute whatever you have for something else. This relative of mine ran out of sugar, and this individual was making some cookies. She said, okay, well, I don't have sugar. I have salt. Salt looks like sugar, same kind of granular texture, same kind of like look and feel. The taste is completely, absolutely different. Salt and sugar taste different. This person put salt into the cookie mix, whipped it up. Nobody could eat the cookies, right? Just because it looks like you could add in a substitute doesn't mean you can add in a substitute, okay? Common sense needs to be applied. If you put salt into your cookie recipe, nobody's going to eat that stuff, okay? I guarantee it. And ChatGPT and Hugging Face models are smart enough to help you avoid that kind of disaster, okay? Hopefully you don't go down that path. And then that's the next topic, disaster relief and aid distribution in a low resource disaster hit area. Workers can actually get tailor-made food planning suggestions made for them, right? So there's another application, and visual diet tracking, analyze what somebody has eaten, either plants or vegetables or meat or pasta or something, and then understand their biometrics, their digestive patterns, and then maybe make suggestions for alternatives for improvement for people's diets. Okay, so this is where you can get the ChatGPT API, sign up. Again, there's a free version. You can get the paid for version, $20 a month. I'd recommend $20 a month. It's absolutely worth it. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to save this code for you, export it as an HTML file, and I will upload the video later today. I'll upload the source code in this HTML file with the video. So you can download it. You have everything you need, and you are good to go. So hopefully that was informative and educational, somewhat inspirational and motivational too. That's my goal with all these videos. Hopefully that was worthwhile. Thanks for sticking through to the end. As always, appreciate your time and your dedication and your support for my channel. Click the like button and go ahead and check out some of the other videos I have on my channel. I'm up to about 340 now. I'll hit 350, I think, by this weekend. Maybe not this weekend, but pretty close. I think I'm at 340 now, getting up to 350. I'm trying to do 365 within 365 days. I started on August 8th, 2024 last year. So getting pretty close. I've got about a month and a week to go maybe. And I'll definitely hit that 365. I'm getting close. I'm about 90% of the way there. All I need is about another, I think 30 some odd videos, and I'll hit that target. And then I'll probably continue to put out new videos, but I might slow down the pace a little bit and, take a little break. I've been doing this pretty much full steam ahead for almost a year, getting a little burned out, but still have a passion to finish strong here. So that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap up the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Goodbye for now.